Holy cow. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you guys had plenty of opportunities to do great things. Talk to me if you took a listing.
How about if we got something under contract?
There you go. Good job,
All right.
Alex.
Today, for the month of July, I got 6 properties under contract.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And out of that, possibly a new agent coming to town too.
Love, love, love that, Alex. Thank you for sharing. Cool. Who's next?
Hey, John, it's Dave. I got a new
Dave.
listing. And,
There you go.
Got a buyer that we're taking out today as well. So it looks like a great day already.
You're crushing it. Good job. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Who's next?
I can share.
Yes, please do.
I don't have it. I haven't taken a listing, but I just want to share that on Friday I was able to complete my contacts, add one opportunity, send those 5 thank you notes, and add 5 people to my database.
Love it.
Nice.
Love that. And Vicky, that is all you could do. And just remember, all you could do is all you could do. And all you could do is enough. When you do, all you could do. And win the day. Did you win the day? Say yes.
Yes, I did.
Yes. Now put enough of those days, one right after the other, and you win the week. Win enough weeks and you win the month. And before you know it, you start to see results. But sometimes the results don't come right away. Sometimes they may not come for 30, 60, or 90 days. And then all of a sudden success shows up and you go, oh, I got lucky. No, you didn't. That was from what you did 90 days ago. You got this. Proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, one more.
All right, I'll go. On Saturday, I have 3 rental leases starting and the walkthroughs on
Love
Saturday.
it. Good job, Paige. So happy for you. Love that. Okay, guys, we're picking up where we left off on Friday, and I'm on page 133, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and we're talking about your lead generation model. And at the top of the page, Gary says, once you know how many appointments you must have, what's the model that told us how many appointments we need?
Economic model.
Thank you. Yes. Somebody's taking notes. I love that. So the economic model tells us how many appointments we need to have. Once you know how many appointments you must have, you now have to generate leads necessary to generate those appointments. Leads are fuel to your economic engine. Remember what I've said, guys. If you're a note taker, and hopefully you are, I'm writing that down. Leads are fuel to your economic engine. Actually, the way I'm going to write it down is leads are fuel to my economic engine. Now, I'm going to skip over to page number 135, playing the numbers game. High conversion rates will allow you to generate the same income from fewer leads than if you had lower conversion rates. But lower conversion rates can be just as effective if you can amass a great number of leads. So while your conversion rates are very important, the number of leads you must generate is even more critical. Now, Gary doesn't say as critical, he says more critical. What's the worst thing that can happen? Because if you have a great conversion rate and you have more leads, doesn't that just mean more business? I mean, who on this call, if you had the opportunity to sell 4 additional properties every month, would say, no, don't want any part of that? Somebody else can have that. No, nobody raise your hand, please. Okay, good. We can keep going. As soon as I find my place.
What page are you on again? I lost
135.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, highly successful real estate agents will tell you that as far as lead generation is concerned, the quality is in the quantity. Whereas most real estate agents do modest lead generation and get modest results, a few do massive lead generation and get massive rewards. So let me just be super clear so there's no misunderstanding around this. Whereas most real estate agents do modest lead generation and get modest results. What is that? What is modest lead generation? Well, modest lead generation is an average, somewhere between an hour and 2 hours a day. I average, around 10 contacts per day. And out of 5 days, I probably lead generate 4, sometimes 5, and sometimes 3. Modest. Massive. What does massive lead generation look like? I lead generate a minimum of 4 hours a day. I am talking to a minimum of 20 people every single day. I am following up with everybody in my pipeline forever. I don't stop lead generating until I've scheduled at least one face-to-face appointment. Massive lead generation. And it's a choice. You choose modest lead generation or massive lead generation. By the way, modest is easy, massive is hard. It is really hard. It takes effort to sit down at your desk and make calls for 4 hours, to have people hang up the phone on you, yell at you, say mean things, and not get the results. And you just have to keep plowing forward. That takes effort. It takes a lot of effort. Matter of fact, to get major disappointment in the middle of your lead generation time can absolutely take you out of the game. In other words, you could deer in the headlights, freeze in fear, and not do anything else that day. And just say, oh, forget this. I can't believe I just lost that $500,000 sale. I can't make another call. I'll pick it up tomorrow. Now, you could have, if you kept going, got $1 million listing, possibly 2 $500,000 buyers. You could have lost that $500,000 but replaced it with new $500,000, but you're never going to know because you stopped. And what you need to do is take one deep breath and make the next call. That's how much time you have to allow to get over that disappointment. One deep breath and make the next call. Okay. All right, I'm skipping over to page 136. For effective lead generation, you need to be systematic, frequency and consistency, and go for sheer volume. Your lead generation plan must always be more ambitious than your income goals. In other words, if my goal is to make $100,000 a year, I am going to create a lead generation model to make $200,000 a year. Did you guys hear that? If my goal is to run a half marathon, I'm going to train for a marathon. Mm-hmm. And by the way, guess what? On my way to training for a marathon, I get to 13.1 miles, which is a half marathon, and I didn't even know it. Mission accomplished. If your goal is to make $100,000, create a lead generation model that will make you $200,000. If your goal is to make $200,000, create a lead generation model that will make you $400,000. In other words, how many appointments do I need to go on in order to make $400,000? Boom, that's my goal. Now, I'm going to get up every day, nose to the grindstone, working to get that number of appointments in order to earn $400,000. Because my $200,000 goal is non-negotiable. What's the worst thing that happens? I make $200,000. Cool, that was my goal in the first place. What's the best thing that happens? I actually make $400,000. All right.
John, I have a quick question.
Yeah, talk to me, Vicki.
When you say create, like this example, you say you want to make $100,000, create a lead generation model for 200. When you say 200, you mean shoot for the number of appointments of a $200,000 model?
Yes, That's what I mean.
Oh,
Yes, aim high. Aim high. If my goal, Emerson was right when he wrote, we aim above the mark to hit the mark.
Aim high.
Aim high. All right, three key areas of your lead generation model. First, there is the prospecting and marketing aspect where you generate leads and move them into your inner circle. Second, there is the work to set up your database and feed it constantly. And last, there is the systematic marketing to that database to generate new, repeat, and referral business. So, share my screen. What time is it? 8:44. Cool, we're doing good with time. Okay. So on the very outside of the model is the general public. Obviously, these are people who you haven't met. For sale by owners would be included in that group. If I was farming to a neighborhood, that would be included in the general public. A target group is a group of individuals that I am focused on. Again, let me go back for a moment because I got something wrong. And I'm gonna redo this because I don't want you to get the wrong information. The general public is just everybody that you haven't met, period. That's it. The target group, that's a farm. So I'm farming to a neighborhood, that's my target group. Once I meet somebody, they go into my database as a met contact. And the way that I'm gonna build a relationship with that individual is using an 8x8. That means I'm going to touch them 8 times in 8 days. It is emails, text messages, phone calls, personal notes, email, text message, phone calls, personal notes. And the goal of an 8x8 is to create top of mind. In other words, when Eddie thinks of real estate, I want him to think of John Dietz. If somebody were to ask Eddie 8 days from now, hey, do you know any good real estate agents? He would say, well, you know, there's this guy, John Dietz, who I met recently. Mission accomplished. Then we moved from an 8x8 to a 33 touch, and it's actually been updated to a 36 touch recently. And that's a combination of emails, text messages, newsletters, postcards, greeting cards with 4 phone calls a year. And guys, let me tell you, and I think most everybody is on this call is with Keller Williams. I know if you aren't, and if you are, this is where I'm going to talk to you about how important it is that you get real comfortable with using command. I would ask how many of you have more than 100 contacts on smart plans? How many smart plans do you have them on? And how many times a year, thank you, Eddie, love that. And how many times a year are you reaching out to them and touching them? By the way, most of it's automatic. That's what's so cool about smart plans is the emails, the text messages, the neighborhood nurtures, those are all automatic. Once you launch the smart plan, command does everything else for you. All you have to do is pick up the phone and make a call 4 times a year. You're building a relationship through care calls that are going to lead to repeat and referral business. Now, I'm going to back up for just a second to this general public haven't met. So on page 138, I'm going to really try to get tricky here, see how well this works. Okay, that's not bad, although I don't know if you guys could see that. I can't, but then again, I'm old. There we go, that's better. All right, so to that haven't met group, I'm on the far left, prospecting. I'm prospecting for sale by owners, I'm prospecting circle expired listings, and I'm prospecting circle prospecting. And I've really been hitting hard on circle prospecting lately because I think this is the one opportunity that a lot of us are missing. And What you see in front of you is a list of everything that you can do in order to generate leads. There's a list of everything you could do if you're going to be prospecting based or marketing based, or if you're going to build your business through your database. And you're not going to do everything. What you're going to do is you are going to pick 4 or 5 things that work for you, and you're going to focus on those. So for example, in the prospecting list, I'm definitely circle prospecting. Every time a home sells, I'm going to walk the neighborhood. I'm going to put a door hanger on the door, letting everybody know in that neighborhood that a home recently sold. Great news. The challenge now is there are very few homes for sale, and we have buyers that are looking for great homes like yours. If you know of anybody, please reach out to John Dietz. I'm going to follow that with a postcard to everybody in the neighborhood 2 days later with exactly the same message that the door hanger has. Now they've gotten 2 touches from me in less than a week. And I'm going to follow that up with a phone call 2 days later. So now I'm calling Victoria. She got a door hanger, she got a postcard in the mail, and now I'm on the phone. And the conversation is so simple. Victoria, the reason I'm calling is a home sold in your neighborhood, which is great news. The challenge now is we have buyers looking for great homes like yours, and there's nothing for sale. Who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? Simple. Okay, I'm going to call for sell by owners. I'm going to call expired listings. And those are going to be my 3 main focus when it comes to prospecting. Back to my circles. All right, that's to this general public group out here. By the way, every time somebody picks up the phone and we have a conversation, I'm going to move them from the general public to my met group, because now I've met them. We've had a conversation. Now I'm working that relationship to start with on an 8x8 and then a 33 touch. Now, as I do this, I'm going to get business. I'm going to get repeat and referral business. And I'm also going to meet people who are going to become allied resources. An allied resource is anyone who is going to do at least 1 deal with you a year, or they're going to refer 1 piece of business to you every year. So Doug Fresh was an allied resource for me when I was in the real estate business on the west coast of Florida. He was a for sale by owner. He was in this group out here. I met him because I made a prospecting call, and I met with him, looked at his house, and then followed up until he eventually hired me. He moved from the general public to a Met group to a past client. And oh, by the way, I found out later that he was, sorry guys, I don't know what that was. He was the director of the largest assisted living facility on the west coast of Florida. Meaning anytime somebody went to him and they needed to sell their home because they were moving into the assisted living facility that he was in charge of, he called me. And I got a half a dozen referrals from him every single year. Allied resource. Okay. Guys, that's a lot of information, and talk to me.
Hey, good morning, John. So quick question. When you're doing all those touches, would you say it makes a difference which order? Because you said door hangers, postcards, then call-in. If you did the call-in or postcard or something, would it make a difference?
That's a great question, Dee. I think the phone call is important, that it's the 3rd touch. The postcard and the door hanger doesn't matter. If you want to start by mailing out a postcard to everybody in the neighborhood around a property that just sold, and then 3 days later, walk the neighborhood with a door hanger, that's cool. That might actually be better.
Okay.
Yeah, but the phone call is definitely the 3rd touch.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
I'd look at it this way: the door hanger and the emails and all that, that's giving you name recognition, so that when you make that phone call and you say, "Hi, it's Alex Kablikis," they already know that name and they're just putting it together, and they're going to keep you on the phone longer.
Yeah. Even if they're a little bit annoyed with you, like, oh my gosh, this guy's such a pain. Yeah, that's cool. I'm totally okay with that. Be annoyed, but think of me when you think of real estate. Even if it annoys you, I'm good with that. Talk to me.
John, hi.
Yes, hi.
So I came on a few minutes late, and I came on right when you were talking about double your lead generation model for what you're striving for, and that was exactly what I needed to hear today. So thank you, because I'm finding that in the past I would rest on my laurels once I reached a goal. And by doing this will push me past where I've been. So it's another E to P conversation.
Love that.
Thank you.
Love that, Nadine. Yeah. Good job. Yeah. And you're preparing yourself for when the market shifts, because it eventually will shift. And when I say shift, I mean, we're going to go from a market where there's less than 30 days of inventory to where the inventory is 5, 6, 7, 8 months. And I promise you, when that happens, most real estate agents are just going to freak out or they're going to lay down and give up. And by doubling the amount of time you spend and doubling your effort in lead generation, you're just creating habits that are going to carry you through that market shift, because that's what it's going to take to survive that market. Might as well get used to it now. All right, what you hear, what are you gonna do differently? What are you gonna implement today? Remember, this is not for entertainment. I'm not that entertaining. Netflix is a lot more fun than John Dietz. What are you gonna do today that you haven't done? What's the one thing that you could do that you haven't done that if you did do it would move you closer to your goal today?
Put more smart plans in place with the people that are already in my database.
Yes. If I could reach through the computer and somehow get your computer in my hands and load those contacts in your command for you and launch smart plans for you, I would, because it's that important.
What's your address?
Actually, Scott Leroy will load your, if you have them in your old system, Scott Leroy will take care of loading them in for you. So that's already done. If you just give them a call and then setting up your smart plans, just go for it.
There you go.
Do not break it. It will not break. Just begin.
I think Victoria was saying we can't break it, right?
Yeah, you can't break it. It's just start.
Yeah. You'll figure it out.
Call me.
Yeah, I know a lot of you are ready, aim, fire people. I get that, guys, and I'm totally cool with that. Where I don't want you to get caught in the weeds is with ready, aim, 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 aim. Holy cow. Just finally fire, please. I'm ready, fire, aim, by the way, and I break a lot of things, Victoria, because I don't slow down in order to speed up, and I'm a 99D, so I'm just moving at a really fast speed, and I'll figure it out as I go. And I'm gonna really screw up as I go too, but I'll go back and eventually get it right. You don't always have to make the right decision, but you do have to make decisions and then make them right. Oh, look who's here. Lucy's here. Hi, Lucy.
Hey, Lucy. There's another also part of communicating with them, not just the smart plans. There's also the neighborhood landing pages where you're giving them their own website, the landing page, and that sets up that nurture where you can be communicating with them at a high level and also putting them on the 8x8. If anyone wants to contact me, you can. You want to be able to create that communication with them that you can follow up with them with a phone call.
Yeah, the whole thing that's super cool about neighborhood nurtures, and that is one of the many smart plans that you have to choose from. Victoria's right. One of the really cool things about this is when someone that is receiving that neighborhood nurture from you, when they open it and look at it, you're getting notified that that contact opened the neighborhood nurture email, they're engaged, which gives you an opportunity to follow up and see how can you help them.
And when they use it themselves, they can set the filter and change it, and you're looking what their changes are, and then they can see if they added any neighborhoods that they like, if they decided, if they're interested at a certain time, oh wow, they're looking at 3 bedrooms, they're looking at 2 bedrooms, you're interacting with them, and it's a conversation.
Yeah, and over time, and I'll leave you guys with this, Kelly is watching. Kelly is watching, and she is learning, and she is going to predict the future based on what your contacts are doing. In other words, Kelly's going to be able to say, based on predictive analytics, here's a list of your contacts who are most likely to buy a home in the next 30 days.
Woohoo.
Are you kidding me? Holy cow. But Kelly can't watch if you don't give her a chance to watch. So get Kelly working for you, guys. She's free. She is the best virtual assistant that you could hire because she doesn't take any money. You couldn't pay her if you tried. And she's going to run your real estate business for you when you plug in and use the technology that you've been given. Holy cow, that's a soapbox preach. I'm sorry. Make it a great day.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.